Hi, welcome Year 9 to the next video tutorial. This tutorial here is going to look at the cosine ratio. So this is the second ratio that we've looked at in trigonometry. Okay, I've written the ratio for you here. We write it cos, so we don't write cosine usually. Just for short, we'll write cos, C-O-S. Cos theta is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse side. So I can actually write this like we did with the sine ratio. We can write this a little bit nicer. Oops, undo drawing there. I was going to give you the sine one again. We can write it like this: cos theta equals A over H for short. We're obviously not going to write this out every time. Pause here and let's put this into our summary books. This is the cosine ratio. Now, just like before, when we were looking at the sine ratio, what we can do with this is solve some unknown lengths. There's our calculator. Make sure you've got that with you. We can solve for some unknown lengths in our right angle triangles. So you'll see for this first example that we'll do, the unknown length here is the hypotenuse side. So we're going to try and find x there. On this example on the right, we're going to try and find x, and that's one of the different sides. So we are going to have to label these first. So using the second ratio that we've looked at, so this is cosine ratio, let's try and solve this here. Okay, first step always is to label the sides. What I've got here is the hypotenuse side, don't I? That's nice and easy. Opposite the right angle. This side here, notice it's next to the reference angle and it's next to the right angle. This is the adjacent side. That one over there is the opposite side. I'm not even going to bother labeling it though, because that side is not involved in this problem. All right, so let's start off. We've got A and we've got H, and we know that there is a ratio. Just get rid of that. Cos theta equals A over H. So just like we did with the sine ratio, we're going to substitute these values that we know from our triangle into this rule, and we're going to use this special ratio to solve for x. So my next step will be to substitute 56 where theta is in the ratio. My adjacent side has a value of 9, and my hypotenuse side is x. So this is my ratio with the substituted values. Now I must solve for x. I'm going to zoom down a little bit so we have some more space. Just like I did with the sine ratio, what I have to do is multiply both sides by x first. And then in order to get my x as the subject, in order for it to say x equals, I'm now going to have to divide both sides by cos 56. So that will look like this in your workings. At this point here, you need your calculator. Okay, so you'll press 9 divided by cos 56 and then enter. I've got that same calculator with me here, so I'm going to put that in and press enter, and what I get, hopefully you got the same thing. Let's bring our screen back. There it is there. I'll just put it here so we can see it. Oh, that doesn't look right, does it? Ah, there we go. .09, and that's to 2 decimal places. Now what's our unit? Have a look. Millimeters. There we go. Now if you've got space in your book, ideally put this answer underneath, because we worked down the page. I was running out of space there, so I put it onto the side there. So that says equals. All right. So that's one example done. How about you pause perhaps here to get the first diagram, and then down here to get all of the workings, and let's put that into our summary books. Okay, I'm going to do the second example now. This one over here, B. Let's have a look. First step, always, let's label our sides. I can see this one is the hypotenuse, and this one up here, it's not the opposite side because that's one over there. It is next to the reference angle, so again, it's A, adjacent. Now, of course, we remember this. This is the ratio we're working with right now. Next step is to substitute the values in. So I've replaced A with X, I've replaced the H with the length of the hypotenuse, which is 5, and I have also replaced the angle. We need that angle there. Final step, this is an easier one really than the one before, because to get X isolated, to get it by itself, to get it to be the subject, X equals, we're going to multiply both sides by 5. Do that on your calculator like I did before, so cos 78. Remember with this calculator that you need to close that bracket, otherwise you'll get a crazy answer. And what do I get? Have a look, 1.04, and that is to 2 decimal places. Check the unit always. If there is a unit given in your diagram, you must put it in your answer. 1.04 meters for that example there. Pause here and you can get this final example into your workbook. Thanks ladies for listening to this or following through with this tutorial.